We are live now. Hello everyone, my name's Arun. I am a postgrad student currently studying at the University of Kent at Kent Business School. I study MSc Management, and I've actually been at the University of Kent for the past 4 years. Yeah, 4 years now, which it has been amazing, to be honest. It's been lovely. So I started off in 2016. I came into the university and studied an undergraduate in music at the Centre for Music and Audio Technology, and then went on after those 3 years to study a master's in business management at Kent Business School in Medway. And both of those degrees were run on the Medway campus. However, I've had my involvements with Canterbury too over the 4 years, and it's been great. And yeah, feel free by all means to drop any questions in the comment chat just over there or wherever it is on your screen, and I will be more than happy to answer them. I believe my colleague Yasmin is also here, so yeah, she'll be also picking up questions in the chat too. So yeah, by all means, fire away with any questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But yeah, my time at Kent has been great. There is a lot of societies and student support on offer. So the student support services are really, really good. And I've used them in the past as I have been part of the DSA program running at Kent. I'm just liaising with Yaz. Yeah, I believe we're getting more people joining gradually. It's nice to see so many of you joining us today for this Q&A session. It's actually my first session, so yeah, it's great. So yeah, in summary for all of you guys who have just joined, my name's Aaron. I'm currently a business management student studying at Kent Business School in Medway. I'm studying a master's in business management, and I have studied my undergraduate also at Kent. I studied music at the Centre for Music and Audio Technologies in Medway as well. So I've been there for 4 years. So I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. So I've got a first question in saying, why did you decide to go on to study a postgraduate or go on to do postgraduate study? So I actually went on to do a postgraduate at Kent, as I actually didn't foresee myself at the start thinking about it, but the main reason is I was looking at the different courses Kent offered towards the end of my undergraduate study at Kent, and I wanted to actually stay with the University of Kent as I had a good time. I had made loads of friends and connections throughout my time there. So, networking is a very important point of being at university. It's a very big point, and I basically built all of those connections. So I wanted to stay at Kent and study something that would benefit me in the future, as I run my own little business alongside my studies, which I had been running through my undergraduate. So I figured that it would be useful to learn some solid skills for business management for my little venture. So I've got another question. Was it your passion for your subject? Or did you want to add a different set of skills to your subject knowledge by taking a master's in a different area? So, in actual fact, I didn't really foresee it as being a passion, really, business management. But at the time when I made my decision, I actually thought that it would be quite a useful set of skills for future, not just for my own venture, but I could apply it across the board to any job that I go and work in, as the business management masters did give an overview of everything from accounting and finance to global business analytics to corporate strategy, to marketing. It encompassed every area of a business, and also, as well as that, the consultancy aspect. So we did do actual projects with a client, which the university would actually help facilitate. So it was very useful, and I would recommend anyone who's looking into building their skill set to look at postgraduate studies. So I've got another one. How does postgraduate study / life differ to undergraduate? I mean, to be honest, postgraduate study life is quite different, in the sense that people are more focused on course and work and the course itself, whereas like most of in the undergraduate, as most of you have probably realised, people tend to be wanting to go out, have a good time, and really indulge in the university life, and that tends to reduce towards postgrad. But even though that's reduced, it's still, there's still a big chunk of studying at university still in postgraduate life. And I mean, I actually knew people, obviously, from the years below in the Centre for Music and Audio Technology, and some of the freshers I actually got involved with. They still had the kind of undergraduate life and events, and since I was heavily involved with events at uni, I still got very much stuck in with almost the undergraduate life, despite having the postgraduate study alongside it. So I've got another question. Were you encouraged to do so by academic staff to do a postgraduate degree? So, in actual fact, I wasn't actually, pushed by like any of the academic staff to do a postgraduate degree. I actually looked at it myself, and to be honest, I didn't, at the beginning or the middle of my undergraduate course at Kent, I did not see myself studying a postgraduate. But when it came around quite quickly, to the point of the end of my undergraduate degree, I actually basically thought to myself, it's probably a good thing to have a postgraduate degree, and also to build my skill set before going into the world of work. And so I did, um, which was good actually. Um, so, did you take advantage of the PG specific facilities that are available? That's another question that has come in. So I did take advantage of certain postgraduate facilities that are available. They did have a specific postgraduate studying area in Kent Business School at Medway and Sale and Colour Loft, and that was quite useful, especially if you wanted to get away from the busyness of the school and, you know, the undergraduates and the sort of bustle, if you like, and wanted somewhere quiet to focus on work and work in groups with your group partners and all of that, and especially because they have IT facilities. Yeah, so that's that. So we've got another question in. What is a typical day at school? Do you have school from morning to evening, or how is it? Thank you, Mercy, for this question. So, this depends on usually your course. In our course for business management, it was split between 2 days. So we had Monday and Tuesday, and usually Monday would be a full-on day from like 9 in the morning till 5 in the evening non-stop. There wouldn't be any breaks, so we would bring our, lunches into lectures and sit there and eat our lunch whilst the lectures are going. And then Tuesday would be kind of a half day. But yeah, it would vary depending on the course and the content that you cover. So depending on which course you're going for, it will vary. But from what I gather, the postgraduate courses, I know specifically mine, there was a lot of mature students who had full-time work, so it was built around those 2 days or a single day for them, because they would study part-time and it would help fit in with their work. Right, I've got another question in. Did you attend any conferences, workshops, or seminars? So, I actually did attend a few seminars, not many conferences because the year was kind of cut short due to COVID. But yeah, we did attend a few seminars. We had a few guest speakers come in, because the university are very good, KBS are very good with bringing in guest speakers to lecture on different topics like change management and CSR and various things in our course. So we did attend quite a few workshops and seminars, and one of them included a work-study trip to Belgium, actually, just before COVID hit. As part of our course, we went out to Brussels to go and stay there for a week and observe the European Union and European Parliament, and just, pick up knowledge on the different things out there, and it was great. But yeah, they're very, very good with getting guest speakers in and various different people to come in and talk. So I've got another question in. For those wondering about how the uni will be for when September starts, please do check out. Okay, so that's just a little statement to say, basically, to check out the university website, as university will be resuming in September, but it will resume in a certain way, so not all of it will be face to face. So yeah, I've been told that Safe Study social page on the website and on Facebook will have more information. Um, so yeah, go and check that out on Facebook and the website. Okay, there's a lot going on at Kent to make sure that your experience also is good and as best as it can be. So yeah, find out more about what they're doing to protect the community at Kent and enhancing student life on the website and social media. As you know, we're doing our utmost best to make sure that your student experience at Kent, is the best it can be. So yeah, go and check those out and stay up to date on everything. Right, we've got another question in. So, this one is, if you were talking to a graduate Kent student who was considering doing their masters at Kent, what advice would you give them? So, the advice I would give you is to make sure you take your time and think about what you want to go into, what field you want to specialise in for your masters. Don't rush into it, just have a look at everything Kent has to offer and maybe even call up the departments, have a chat. I did that actually when I was deciding between two masters that Kent offered. So yeah, call up the departments, maybe arrange a Zoom meeting, and just have a chat with them, find out what the courses are made up of and the requirements, and maybe the assessment types if you're considering the type of course. And yeah, just make sure you don't rush into it. Think about it and apply to a course you really feel you would like to study. Right, we've got another question in. As a Kent student, you receive a loyalty discount. Did this influence your decision? So, yeah, Kent do give a loyalty discount and also sometimes an early bird discount. It depends whether they're offering it at this point in time, but that did have a bit of a bearing on my decision. So yeah, by all means, check out what offers they have, because it can really help with the cost of a course, especially when you take into account living costs, accommodation costs. So yeah, investigate it, and because that, to be honest, did partially influence my decision, not only just because I liked Kent a lot, but the discount was really good that they gave me. Right, we've got another question in. Do you have much exposure into industry during your postgrad? Having people visit the uni from the industry and telling you how the industry works can be very different perspective from you gaining that firsthand by being involved in R&D projects in the industry. For example, does Kent provide such opportunities? So, this year's been, as you all know, has been a very, very abnormal year, shall we say. So Kent do usually, especially as part of our business management course, we did have a placement project. So the university would help us each find a placement in the industry. So we were looking at different things. They usually also hire a firm to actually help us look for placements and liaise with people. And so, like, obviously the employers will liaise with the firm that the university has employed to do that. And we would also have to interview and all of that, but the university would support us in it. Sadly, we didn't have that opportunity due to COVID this year, but hopefully in the up and coming years, the future postgraduates should have that, that same support that we got, and hopefully should end up in a placement which will carry on throughout summer. So that would be from like May, June till August, and then because our course runs from September to September. So they do have people from the industry come in to talk at the school and tell you about what's happening in the industry at the moment, and that placement is also part of that, and also the consultancy project that we do as part of consultancy skills module in our course helps with that too. And they do provide like a lot of support in careers and that. I hope that's answered your question, Manu. Moving on. So tell us about the accommodation from the international students for the first year, from Priyanka. Thank you, Priyanka. So accommodation for international students in first year, you're usually situated on campus. Most of the first years are situated on campus, in the student halls. I know for Medway, the Medway campus, we have a guarantee which will basically guarantee you accommodation throughout your time studying at Kent, and that should still stand even now. I knew that was a point when I joined in 2016, so I don't think anything has changed at that front. Check out the accommodation page on the University of Kent website. They have more information, but as far as accommodation goes, in Medway you have self-catered accommodation. I remember when I moved in to Medway accommodation, I met a load of different people from different parts of the world and different parts of the UK. And it was great, and I would recommend going into halls for first year because you get to know people very well, and in Medway it was a tight-knit community. Canterbury, you have the option of catered and self-catered accommodation. I would recommend checking out the website, the accommodation page on the website for more information on accommodation in Canterbury, as I know that there are two types of accommodation, but there are specific blocks which are self-catered and catered. For more information, please do contact the University of Kent directly, or check out the website accommodation page. So you can contact the University of Kent at kent.ac.uk/contact us. I believe that's in the comments for you. So if you have any inquiries, any inquiries about university, feel free to contact them through that. So I have a question from Manu. Which college did you end up in? So I ended up in the Medway College, or the Medway campus, Medway College. So I ended up there as I studied music, which was on the Medway campus, and it's a very quirky campus. It's based on an old army base from in Chatham Maritime. It is a wonderful campus. I do love the old buildings, and the music Centre is actually based on the Chatham Historic Dockyards. It is an amazing place, and Kent Business School is also based also on the Chatham Historic Dockyards. And yeah, it was just magical, a magical campus, and everyone is really tight knit because that campus is shared by 3 universities. So we've got the University of Kent, we've got Canterbury Christchurch, and University of Greenwich. So it's a very mixed campus, very diverse, and it's really nice. So yeah, I love it in Medway. And yeah, so that's where I ended up at, and I remained for all 4 years. Right, so I'm just going to check the comments. So there is like postgraduate courses and more information in the comments for international students if you wish to have a look, for MSc Management. Yeah, there's a few links and even accommodation there, so feel free to go and check that out. We have another question. How easy was it to apply to Kent? So, to apply to Kent, it was actually not that difficult, to be honest, because they actually do support you throughout the application process. So yeah, I had a look at their website and applied through their website for my postgraduate course, and had a chat with the department, and it was actually a very easy application process because they did support me throughout it. So yeah, no, it was really easy. So yeah, I'd have a look at their website as they have all of the information there. If you get stuck, contact your specific department that you're looking at the course in, as they will help you out. And I know that it took me at least a good few weeks to apply because I was a bit unsure of the application process and how it would work with me being at Kent but on a different course and all of that. But Kent were very good and helped me apply. So yeah, no, I'd recommend checking that out, and if you get stuck, do not hesitate to contact them. Right, so we've got another question. Did you take part in any of the graduate school activities or take part in events with the university? So, I did actually take part in a lot of university events. Like, I did look at some of the workshops. The graduate school does offer a lot of different services and workshops and seminars, and yeah, by all means, go and have a look and check them out because they do offer some very good ones on CV writing and careers, and even talks from people from the industry. And yeah, they also, I think this is more or less part of careers, but you have the job fairs, which people come into the university, and it's like an employability and careers festival that the university runs, and I think that's more or less part of careers rather than the graduate school. But the graduate school does offer quite a bit of services and support for graduates at Kent. So yeah, I'd recommend checking them out. University events wise, I took part in a lot of them, especially because I was actually part of the Centre for Music and Audio Technology a while back, which was known as the School of Music and Fine Art back in the day. And yeah, I would take part in all sorts of events in the different catering outlets and the student union, as I would be almost like the events coordinator for Medway. People would know me as the the events person at Medway to contact for any live music events or in general any sort of events that involved tech or different venues at the Medway campus. So I would be the one running between the few venues, setting up PA systems and doing some tech, setting up some lighting and live streaming bits to social media and various things. So I did throw myself right into all of the events at university, extracurricular events that is. And yeah, no, it was good. It was good fun. I would recommend, really getting involved with student life. Right, we've got another question. Is the relationship with academic staff different, and how much more is expected of you? So, my relationship with academic staff, since coming from the Centre for Music and Audio Technology, coming from that setup, we were quite a small setup anyway, department rather. So there was, from what I can remember, in our undergraduate class, there was about 9 of us in the class. So our lecturers we had a very strong relationship with our lecturers. So it was, very tight knit, and if anyone had any issues, we would actually we'd email the lecturer immediately, and they'd be like, come and see me on this day, and we can sort it out. And yeah, we would, it was great. But moving to postgraduate, it was pretty much almost the same, because the class is not that much different. It's probably about 15 or 20 people, 15 or 20 students. So the relationship was quite similar in the sense that, it was quite tight-knit and small. So if any of us had any issues, we would contact the lecturer immediately, and they would be like, come and see us, we can sort this out. And they would sit down and go through things with us if we got stuck and all of that. So I mean, I didn't experience that much difference because we were on a small undergraduate course, but yeah, it wasn't that different. But the workload is very much more advanced compared to, what you would do on an undergraduate, let alone a music course. As we did, we did a lot of performance in music, but when you get to business management, it's all very much, theoretical, and you have to focus on, the different projects and theory that you get given. So it was a big step up from undergraduate, comparing it to music, obviously. But if you've had a business background, I'm sure it would be quite similar. But yeah, no, they do expect a lot of you. Right, moving on to the next question. As a postgraduate, did you discover new favourite places to go on campus or in Canterbury/Medway, or stick with your undergraduate haunts? So, Medway being a very small campus, and everyone knows everyone, and not being as vast as Canterbury, I usually stuck with the good old haunts from my undergraduate, like the Deep End Student Bar, which used to be an old swimming pool when the naval base was operational, which is now our student union bar and student hub. And also we spent a lot of time at the Galvanising Shop Cafe on the Chatham Historic Dockyards, which is a university operated cafe by Kent Hospitality, and that I actually work in that cafe, so I did spend a lot of time anyway there. But it's such a relaxed place, and very quirky. Both those places are very quirky and chilled, which is quite nice. And yeah, so I stuck with those two places, but we did go exploring around the area, and I properly discovered St Mary's Island, which is just across from the campus. It has a beautiful walking track that goes around the island, thanks to one of my friends who are local, who live in the local area. He showed me that area. But there's so many different places. I mean, in Canterbury, we discovered Woody's, the new bar that was only like started up again, opened up in like a few years ago, about probably 1 or 2 years ago. That was quite nice to discover that, and yeah, various different things that you're constantly discovering new places, new things at university, and it's great. It keeps you on your toes and helps you appreciate the different environments and the different places on offer, as it were. But yeah, no, it was lovely. So, moving on to the next question. Do you think having a master's will help your employment prospects? So, I feel that since nowadays everyone is going for, or most people are going for undergraduate degrees at the moment, and everyone's coming out with these undergraduate degrees, having a master's might help make you stand out from the crowd, if that makes sense, as it's pretty much quite, I don't want to say a common thing, but it's quite a widely seen thing that people come out of uni with a degree, and everyone's applying for similar roles, and because everyone's having those similar roles, or applying to those similar roles, and everyone just having degrees, having a master's might help you have that extra edge, if you like, to to help make you stand out from the crowd, if that makes sense. So and yeah, and plus, not only that, it gives you extra skills for future employment, which will probably be very transferable, which is good, because it shows that you've specialized in something, you've learnt those extra skills and taken that extra bit of time to study these things. So I think even if it doesn't put you in, give you an advantage in your prospects of employment later, it will help you with your skills, and building on the current skills you have, and adding more to your bow, as it were. Yeah. Moving on to Manu. Is the coursework quite challenging, or is it easy enough for you to have a good uni life balance? If it's quite challenging, do you get enough support from lecturers outside of lectures and seminars? Thank you, Manu, for that question. So, depending on the module, obviously, I know for a fact I can say that quite a few of us found the accounting and finance, coursework bits a bit challenging, and like that module had an exam, so we were all quite nervous, and we would keep getting stuck. So we would actually email our lecturers, and they were very good. They would say, right, come and see us at 5 o'clock on Monday, or I don't know, 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and they would sit with us for a few hours, as long as they have free time. They would sit with us for a few hours and go through everything step by step and make sure that we're happy with everything before they move on to the next kind of chapter, as it were, or next bit of work. So I would say, like, the lecturers are very supportive, and especially outside of lecture time, they do support us very well. Um, and yes, you can have a good balance of uni life and coursework. It depends, obviously, how you balance that out and schedule your work things. So what I would do is usually I would schedule to do, schedule out a few hours every so often during the week, and also the majority of the weekends I'd sit and do work, um, and schedule that out to study and catch up on things that I need to recap on. But yeah, no, it's like it is challenging, but you can have a balanced uni life and coursework kind of thing. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Manu. Um, yeah, moving on to the next question. What skills have you developed from the management course? So I feel that I've developed many different skills. Quite a bit of critical thinking. So whenever I'm thinking about certain things, I would go through, different stages of thinking, how to deal with things, as well as also the whole CSR side of things and corporate responsibility, which I've been applying to my own little venture on the side, my freelance venture, and various different things to do with, you know, the different aspects of the course. Like, the one skill that I use quite a lot is um, marketing skills, as I'm constantly, doing a bit of social media and making videos for clients or websites, or even just, making vlogs for the university, as I have a whole few playlists of my university life. I've vlogged every single day of university life on my YouTube channel. Right, I think we're back on. Right, I believe we are back on and live again. Um, yeah, we should be back on and live. Sorry about that, guys. A few technical difficulties happened. The joys of live sessions, eh? Yeah, sorry about that, but we shall continue. We have around 10 minutes to go. Send over any of your last bits, last questions, and we can answer them for you, or otherwise direct you to the contact us. So you can directly message us on Facebook or any of our social media, or contact us at information@kent.ac.uk. So yeah, sorry about all the interruptions. Please do get your last minute questions in now, so we can answer them for you, or signpost you to where they can be answered for you. But yeah, picking up from where we left off, uh, here's another question. Were the graduate school able to help? So the graduate school, I can't say that I've really interacted too much with them, but they would send out a regular newsletter, which would basically encompass all of the events that they're running in that month or that week, and how to get in contact with them for certain things, services that they provide. But yeah, no, I can certainly say they're very approachable, as they do send out a lot of information and do ask for us to get in contact with them if we need to, and if we need any support. So yeah. So another question: how would you sum up postgraduate life at Kent in 3 words? Oh, this is a challenging one. In 3 words, I would say challenging being one, fun, and what would the last word be? Last word, challenging, fun, and informative, I think I would say. As you know, you learn a lot. Well, regardless if you're a postgraduate or undergraduate, you learn a lot at university, that's for sure. But yeah, you can still have fun, even though if you're a postgraduate, you can still, you know, engage and have a lot of fun with the undergraduate university life style. And you know, yeah, it's great. But yeah, moving on to the next one. Do you have more freedom to pursue your own areas of interest? I feel you do. In postgraduate study, we have had more freedom to explore our areas of interest because there's more time around the course to, you know, study, but also do other things that you would like to pursue later on in life. So, for sure, you know, you do have a lot of freedom to pursue all of that. And I would recommend you know, you really do pursue it all, because once you finish university, you know, you can then build on that. To say, like, for instance, for me, it was my freelance venture, Silver Media. I, you know, started it years ago, before university, and was running it as a fun blog website thing, and gradually started building up clients when I got to university. In my undergrad, some of our lecturers hired me to record their events and do things, and the university then started also hiring me for events and social media and all of that, as I have my own equipment. And then yeah, and then now, as I've got to the end of my degree, I was pursuing that alongside my work. That some of the contacts I built up at Kent actually offered me a part-time role producing digital events for them, in the arts world. So yeah, definitely pursue your interests alongside your studies, because you have that extra amount of time, not just for studying, but also to have fun and have a breather, but also pursue your interests. Let's see. I've just had a little comment from my colleague saying, for anyone considering doing their masters at Kent, what advice would you give them? We've asked before, but it's good for new people who have joined. So, so the advice I would give you is, as I said, take your time, think about, have a look at what we have to offer at Kent, all of the courses, look at all of them, take your time, talk to the departments, talk about maybe how they're assessed, you know, the various assignments and all of that. Talk to the department and find out all of these things, and take your time in your decision, because when you make your decision, it's important that you feel you're enjoying the course and, you know, you've picked the right course for you. So yeah, take your time, think about it, and then, you know, go for it when you know you're sure. But yeah, that's the bit of advice I feel I can give you for anyone who's looking at postgraduate study at Kent. And yeah, So just checking the time, but yeah, we've got a few more minutes, 3 more minutes. But yeah, any more questions? Does anyone have any more questions? Feel free to chuck them in the chat, and we can answer them for you, or signpost you to where to look at them. You know, get answers for it. But yeah. Right, yeah, well, that concludes today's session. Thank you very much to everyone who joined and for your questions. I hope that it's helped, hope that it's helped you make your decision about studying at Kent. And if there is any other questions you have, please do get in touch with us. We'd be more than happy to help you. And follow the University of Kent channel on Instagram. It's at Uni Kent Live. Follow our Facebook page and our Twitter page. We've also got a LinkedIn page too. But yeah, follow all of the social media, and we'll be posting updates. And yeah, take care, stay safe, and get in touch if you have any queries or questions on the Kent website or any of our social media. Thank you very much, guys, and best of luck, and we hope to see you at Kent very soon. Take care. Bye.